Welcome to the Ideas Step 1 module. In this module, we will learn about Ideas Step 1, identify root causes of a health, safety, and well-being concern. This step is part of the Intervention Design and Analysis Scorecard tool for creating integrated total worker health interventions. By the end of this module, you will be able to explain the rationale for doing a root causes analysis when designing a total worker health intervention, understand how to use the Fishbone diagram for conducting a root causes analysis, and create a Fishbone diagram to map root causes underlying a specific health, safety, and well-being concern. Before we start, there are 4 key definitions to understand. A health, safety, and well-being concern is anything that places employees' physical and/or mental well-being at risk. A root causes analysis is a systematic process to identify all the underlying causes of a health or safety concern, providing a more thorough understanding of why the concern is occurring. In a root causes analysis, there are often many factors driving a health, safety, or well-being concern. We'll use these terms to name and organize the root causes. Sub-issues are smaller aspects of the main health and safety issue or concern. For example, if we think about root causes of hearing loss, we might identify sub-issues on and off the job, such as loud work environment, lack of hearing protection, and loud recreational activities, and even age. We can then think about contributing factors. These are anything on or off the job that can lead to the sub-issues. For example, we can think about why workers don't use hearing protection and why the exposure to noise is so high. Why look for root causes? By taking time to assess root causes, we can design more effective solutions. If we use total worker health thinking, we need to consider factors on and off the job that contribute to the safety, health, or well-being concern of focus. The figure on this page shows that our health and well-being, symbolized by the people in the center of the figure, is influenced by multiple factors. The blue circles represent the workplace and job conditions. These include the physical and chemical environment, as well as the social and mental aspects of work. The green circles represent community factors, the home environment, and even our personal health characteristics. Thinking about the sub-issues and contributing factors from work and non-work areas will lead to a more thorough understanding of what's causing the main concern. Having that information will help you generate ideas for solutions that can address a broad array of sub-issues. There are several ways to lead a root causes analysis activity. In this module, we'll demonstrate 2 ways to create a Fishbone diagram activity using a coffee spill example. Instructions and a blank diagram are in the Ideas Step 1 Facilitator Manual and Design Team Materials. To demonstrate this activity, we are going to use a simple case study for mapping out root causes. We are going to be using Wake Up Coffee Shop, a busy coffee shop which operates from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. The workers in this fast-paced environment have been complaining of getting burned from coffee spills. The coffee shop prides itself on having coffee hot and ready to go. The store recently got new coffee urns, which they added to the coffee prep stations wherever space allowed. They also replaced their to-go cups and lids, which take a few seconds to attach properly. The Fishbone diagram is a causal analysis diagram that helps you identify possible causes of a health, safety, and well-being concern during brainstorming sessions. Our Fishbone activity will look at root causes to why the baristas got burned. In the next couple of slides, we'll show you how to create and fill out this diagram using 2 different methods. In the first method of creating the Fishbone, you will need a blank whiteboard or flip chart, markers, and some marker erasers. When you do this activity, you start by drawing the head of the fish on the blank surface and placing the identified problem inside. In our example, it's burns from coffee spills. Draw the spines coming from the head of the fish and invite the group with instructions to share thoughts about why spills happen. The facilitator asks, why is this health, safety, and well-being concern happening? This would be the sub-issues, which the facilitator writes on the vertical-facing spines. After all possible sub-issues have been identified, the facilitator invites the group to share thoughts about what could have caused these issues. These will be the contributing factors, which are the horizontal spines facing each sub-issue. The facilitator writes these down on each spine as ideas are shared. This idea step may require 2 meetings. Duration will vary depending on the complexity of the health and safety concern, the size of the group, and the set meeting duration. If you have a very large diagram, you may want to select one sub-issue to take on for intervention planning. Keeping the scope narrow will help everyone stay focused and make it easier to manage the design process. In the second method of creating the fishbone diagram, the group will need markers, Post-it notes, flip charts, or blank boards and sticky papers. When you do use this method, the facilitator starts by drawing the head of the fish on the blank surface and placing the identified problem inside. In our example, it's burns from coffee spills. Invite the group, with instructions, to share thoughts about why spills happen. The facilitator asks, why is this health, safety, and well-being concern happening? This would be the sub-issues. The team should take 2 to 3 minutes to think and write their ideas down on Post-it notes, placing one idea on each Post-it note. After all possible sub-issues have been identified, the facilitator retrieves the Post-it notes and places them on the fish spines. The facilitator then invites the group to share thoughts about the root causes of those sub-issues. The team should take another 2 to 3 minutes to think and write their ideas down, placing one idea on each Post-it note. This will be the contributing factors. Facilitators take resulting contributing factors written on Post-it notes and place on the horizontal fish spines. Using the Post-it notes method, design team members arrange all their ideas all together. As a team, they organize the notes into themes. One benefit of the Post-it notes is that it's easy to move ideas around. Team members may like the flexibility to arrange ideas in different ways. It's important to give the process enough time in your meetings. In our example, the themes of coffee cup or lid error, design of coffee machine, employee fatigue, and disorganized workspace were identified. Each of these themes represents a sub-issue underlying the main problem. These became the spines of the fish. Within each sub-issue, there may be several contributing factors. These factors become the root causes that need to be addressed. Mapping root causes is a dynamic and iterative process. Some contributing factors may show up more than once. That's okay. People may want to rearrange the spines, and that's okay too. This slide shows a completed example of the Wake Up Cafe coffee spill fishbone diagram. If you have a very large diagram, you may want to select one sub-issue to take on for intervention planning. Keeping the scope narrow will help everyone stay focused and make it easier to manage the design process. This is an example of the Step 1 worksheet showing the final arrangement of the coffee spill example, the sub-issues, and the contributing factors. This idea step may require 2 meetings. Duration will vary depending on the complexity of the health and safety concern, the size of the group, and the set meeting duration. At the end of the root causes analysis activity, the design team will have settled on a general health and safety concern they will like to work on, why the health, safety, and well-being concern is occurring, the sub-issues, and the contributing factors which lead to the sub-issues. Now that you have a basic understanding of Idea Step 1, use the manual and handouts to complete this step. You can find them on the Ideas website. In the next video, we'll review Idea Step 2, develop objectives and activities to create a full or partial resolution on the health and safety issues. This concludes the Idea Step 1 training module.